Hey, just a quick video of winterizing your motorcycle for the winter. This is a DR650. It's a 2010 model. They're all pretty much the same post 95. There's a TM40 carburetor on here. It's a Mikuni off of Harley. And what I'm doing is I'm draining the float bowl, so we have no fuel left in it. You can see the main jet there, just in the bottom. This is the drain plug that you can pull out of it, and I've shut the gas off to off position on the petcock. And the reason I'm doing this is because I try to do a diligent job of filling it up with gasoline that has no ethanol in it, but you don't know. Sometimes they don't advertise, and the reason why that's of concern is because ethanol is hydrophilic and it likes to eat these aluminum carburetors up. So I've had this carb on here for probably was it 2020, so about 8 years, and you can see there's no corrosion out. Like on some of the older bikes, you can see where maybe this exercise hasn't been followed, and basically it can get to a point where you need a new carburetor. So it's pretty quick. You just pull that off. On this, it's a 17 mil. You can get in here. I just put some towel down to get the fuel to collect on something, and yeah, that's it. It's pretty easy. It's definitely worth the effort. Save you a lot of headache, and it's also a good idea to fill the tank up right to the top, so there's no head space and stuff like that if you can. But if you can't, at a minimum, you should try and do this. It'll just save you a lot of headache. At least this bike's only got one carb. If you had some stuff from the 80s that had a 4-bank on it, this was basically mandatory. And they had a bunch of super awesome like bleed valves right on the bottom, where you connect a little piece of tubing and run that into a catch jug, and you'd back this screw out and it would drain each float bowl, and you do that one by one, and it was super quick. But that's how it's set up on this one. You gotta pull this plug off, just make sure it's clean, throw it back in, and you should be a-okay for next year. One other thing I forgot to note was you can see if your fuel filter's passing any sediment, because it'll often collect in this little sump. Mine's pretty clean, but there's been years where doing pretty big road trips and stuff where I've had questionable gas and all that kind of stuff, and this is actually filled up with sediment on me, and at least it catches it here, and it's just something to be aware of. Clean it out and throw her back in.